Today we're gonna discuss permanent makeup machine uses, and specifically we're gonna review our Rotary Aura pen. Our Rotary pen has speed control here in the actual handpiece, and you just simply plug it in the outlet, and you can also change how far you would like your needle to come out. So for different procedures you may pull your needle more out. For example, I like to see my needle for most of the procedures, and I go up to 2 millimeters out. Also, big bonus of this machine is that you can use micro needle and needle. So for the different parts of the face, you can adjust your depth. So you can go from 0.2 millimeters to 0.8 to 1 or like 1.5 millimeters, depending on the area that you're working. For most of the procedures, I like my needle to be up to 1.8, 2 millimeters. And for our tinted lips procedure, we like also to have our needle approximately 1.4, 1.2 millimeters out for the second part where we're filling in the pigment. So this is regarding the speeds. Let's discuss now about different needles configuration. Different needles configuration will be for different procedures. For example, we have single nano needle. It's 0.20 millimeters. It's great for hair stroke, for eyebrow hair strokes. You can do dusty liner. That's the needle that I'm using for this procedure because it's very fine. And you can do ombre eyebrows for sensitive skin, and of course you can still use it for some outline work, for eyeliner, you know, like wings or lip liner. This is beautiful needle, very gentle, very fine, and make sure that your needles have printed lot number and expiration date, because a lot of health inspectors, they will look not just for a sticker on your needle, they need it to be printed. And make sure that the companies that you're buying your needles from, they can also provide you the sterilization letters. We also have our new needle. It's 0.1 needle, also single needle, and it's textured. So there are two different needles types. There's polished needles, which is most of the manufacturers have, and also texture needles. So texture needle have a little bit like more rough like texture on the tip of the needle, so it's in theory it's implant the pigment a little bit better in the skin. So our textured 1-point needle is 0.30 millimeters, so it make it a little bit thicker than nano needle. I use it for my ombre most of the time. I will use single nano if the skin is very thin and very sensitive, but most of the time I'll go with the textured 0.30 millimeters, and I'll do my powder eyebrow, you know, ombre, and you can use it for eyeliner, you can use it for lips, you can use you know, like for almost all the procedures. In general, single needle is the queen of the needles. You can use it for almost any procedures, except probably tattoo removal, you know. Then we do have 3 nano needle. 3 nano needle, it's 0.15 millimeters, super fine, super tight needle. So it's almost the thickness of one classic tattoo needle. You can use it also for eyeliner work, for outline work, for lip liner, for the whole lip, for eyeliner. Very also useful needle. We do have 5 round needle. 5-round needle. It's our favorite needle for tinted lips. That's the only needle that we're using for this procedure. And then you can still do some lash enhancement. I actually do lash enhancement with 5-round, and in general, like lip eyeliner work and shaded eyebrows work. We have 9 Magnum. My 9 Magnum, it's 2 rows of the needles like together like this, and you can use it for areola work. You can do lip filling with it. You can use it for tattoo removal. So it's a little bit wider configuration, so it's for a little bit larger areas. And as well, we have micro needle in needle, which is a big bonus for our Aura machine, is that it actually take the micro needle in needles. Let me show it to you closer. It's 9 pins, so it's 9 needles in configuration, and you can do micro needling procedure as professional use or use for yourself. This is a huge bonus for when you're choosing to buy our Aura machine. So let me show you how actually to put the needles in the tool. Our needles have unique magnetic system. So when you put your needle, it's on the magnet, so it's even more stabilized in the handpiece. And then you just push it a little bit down and you screw it a little bit until it has slightly tight contact. You don't have to push it too far. Just good contact with the handpiece. And then you adjust the speed from this bottom here. We have 5 different speed configurations. From 1 will be the most slow and 5 will be higher speed. Again, different speed for different procedures. I prefer to do most of my work with a little bit more gentle touch and different like movements. So I prefer to use on the lower speeds, like even first speed or second speed. And to be honest, I'm doing most of my procedures on the first or second speed. Also, the speed depends how fast your hand movement is. If you're moving very fast, you may need to go a little bit higher on your speed. If you're working a little bit slower, you may adjust a little bit your speed and put it a little bit on lower setting. For example, for ombre eyebrows, liner, dusty liner, and leaves, I use sometimes I use first speed, sometimes I use second speed. For tattoo removal, I'm going higher on the speed. I can go up to third or fourth speed. For microneedling, we also work on the higher speed, like 5 or 4. In general, you can do with our rotary pen, Aura, you can do any type of procedure. You can do with single nano, you can do even scalp. As I mentioned before, you can use 5 Magnum or 5 round for areola work. So not only face tattooing, also cosmetic tattooing. So it's very nice machine to have. Also, let me show you how to wrap your machine so you prevent any cross-contamination. I like the cords like sleeves, and I put my machine through the protective. So it's covered and the machine and the cord. And then I'll put my needle in. I will adjust how far I want my needle. And I recommend adjusting your needle when machine is working. So I will first open the machine, the switch, and then I will go and see how far I want my needle to be. and adjust if needed, you know. Okay, I like it here. I will switch it off. And then you can use either grip tape, which I personally like because it makes my hands less slippery. You don't need too big of a piece, like this. And I'll put all the machine inside and also cover a little bit the cord. Or you can use barrier film. Okay, so our machine is ready to go. Regarding the speed, we have 5 speeds. How to work with this, with our speed control here. First of all, when you first want to open the machine, you need to do very fast click. You don't want to hold it too long because it's not gonna open. So when you want to switch the speed, you also do fast click. And you can hear. So this is first speed, for example. Let me set it up on the second speed. And then when you want to turn it off, you hold it for a couple of seconds. Okay, so fast click for turning on the machine and hold it for 2 seconds to switch it off. Let me show you also how to use pigments. I like my pigments to be more runny. This way the flow of the pigment in the tube will be more easy. If your pigment is a little bit thicker, I recommend using some dilutions products, like for example Soft Effects, or there are some different companies that have special dilution solution. Don't use just distilled water or sterile water because it's not the same. So when I switch on the machine, and then I let my needle, you always pick pigment when machine is running. Don't just go and pick without machine is actually running. So when machine is running, you let your pigment for a couple of seconds to soak in the tube. So you see it's soaking now, and we can do our procedure. For example, you can do shading. You can do hair stroke with machine. You can do, you can do any type of machine work with it. And then again, when you want to pick the color again, leave it for a couple of seconds to absorb, so you have all the time plenty of pigment. I hope you enjoy our introduction video, and thank you for watching.